What's up, folks? Hope you've been well. This is a nice little Tuesday we're on here, August the 1st. I had a decent day today, up $16, guys. $16. So it may not sound like a lot to you, okay? But yesterday I got a whopping $8. So I just doubled that today. So I just need to keep doubling it every single day. And then I'll be rich. But yeah, no, a decent day. Some really small scalps here, guys. I did a trade on the Q and the SPY, and I'll go into that in a sec. But I thought something was one guy commented on yesterday's video, which I thought was hilarious. It's like the only comment about you might as you might as well just get a minimum wage job. You're making less than that. And that's a good point. If this was all I was doing, yeah, this is really, you better not be just doing this. But luckily I do have a job, so this is not like my supposedly main income stream. So otherwise I'd be on the street, guys. But anyhow, let's get into it. I just thought that was hilarious. All right, let's rock into the chart. So first trade I took was on the Q, and then I took a trade on the SPY. So I took a real quick scalp on the Q at 11, got out at 11.03. Again, got 8 cents on this guy. So let's find it, 11. So, okay, let's see. 11.03. Yeah. So I basically saw this rundown, right? We came down below the orb low, came down to these second fibs. Orb low fibs, bounced off there really hard, and I'll go back after I'm done talking about this trade and talk about my thoughts and some annoyances, of not getting in certain trades. But so I didn't take this short. I didn't take this push back up, and then so I waited to see what we were gonna do up here. I saw this 5-minute rejection here, and I was just a little suspicious. So yeah, I saw this 5-minute rejection, but I just wanted to see a bit more confirmation because this hadn't gone up high enough to this second orb high fib there, which I typically like. So it did come up. I saw this rejection candle, right? And that happened to, and then I decided to be even, I really thought about taking there, and I was actually really annoyed that I didn't enter there. Because that would have been just a prime entry. But I decided to wait for the 10-minute to see if we were gonna truly reject, and we did. So I got in right here at 11, right about when this opened. So yeah, I got out of it really quick. I got out on when this candle hit, this second candle on the 10-minute flushed, right? The reason I was very hesitant about this trade, I knew we were going to get very likely some sort of pullback, and I was skeptical it was going to be very small, and I just didn't want to risk this popping up against me. And the reason was because you can see this hourly here. I had this nice trend line drawn all the way to hit this top. So we were just hitting that right here. Or excuse me, we had popped over it, and I knew we were coming down. I was worried about it basing on that, which it eventually did, right? It just, it took more time. It took more time, than I thought it might. You never know. But we got this big pop off it. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, okay, shoot, maybe this thing is gonna go up and hit this other fib I have up here. It ended up not doing that, but you don't know what's gonna happen. So anyways, I was nervous in this trade, and I knew there's a chance this is gonna be a small pullback. So I could have definitely got a little bit more. It even came back to, I had this previous day's, I think, high. Yeah, no, previous day's low, this orange line here, I had that out. If I would have waited, I could have tapped that and definitely probably got at least 10, 15 more cents or something like that. But it is what it is. I got out, to me, making $8, which is about, take out the in and out costs, about $7. I don't care what you say. If I saw $7 on the ground, I would pick that up. So So I wasn't in love with the trade, but I was happy. I was happy when I got out. I would not wanted to have dealt with this bounce off here, which I was worried about. That would have stressed me out. And look how long that lasted for it to finally come back down. We're talking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We're talking like an hour just for it to finally turn around. It would have been really torturous. And I got stuff to do during the day. I don't want to sit there and watch these things all day if I don't have to, especially at this point. So anyhow, that was that trade. And then I want to go over a little bit of, man, I have just been not pulling the trigger, and I'm just seeing gold out there. I'm just seeing gold. Like if we look at the 5 minute, for instance, I saw this happening. This was just nasty crap. I wasn't even thinking about getting into any of this. There's just nothing going on. We're in this middle area. It finally pops up and does this really unusual, that like the perfect doji where it's actually gray, you know, which I rarely see. And it just kind of weirded me out. You just rarely see them. I typically would love to see a red one, you know, but I feel like with the Qs, the SPY, I feel like maybe more often it would always be red. Like with Qs, sometimes these things will be like, these dojis will be green, and that'll actually be the top. So I haven't traded Q as much, but I'm loving looking at both Q and SPY, really liking it. So anyways, I saw that and was thinking in my head, like, man, this is it, like take the trade. And I just didn't do it. And then of course it dumps all the way down, and it's just depressing, right? And you're like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, okay, here we are. We're at the ORB low. We've gone all the way to the second fib, and we get a nice 5 minute bounce there. And I'm going, hey man, take that. And I just chickened out and didn't do it, you know. I could have even potentially, like the fact that it had this strong bounce even on the 10 minute, I technically could have taken that and still done well. But I could have got nearly bottom tick this thing right here. And so I had to watch this thing go all the way up, and then had to just get my mind clear. And okay, now it's all the way up here. I'm going to look for that short. So that's why I looked for that short. I thought another interesting bounce you could have caught was this beautiful trend line. You know, you saw how it completely respected it. Oh, the other part about that, right, is it hit the damn trend line. It didn't just hit the ORB high. This thing hit that trend line I had out. It's an hourly trend line. I mean, it's just so many reasons I should have taken that trade. So pretty bad. The other one I thought would have been interesting was this nice bounce off the trend line over here, like after this consolidation, and it held yesterday's low again, that orange line. It held the trend line. That would have been a great entry. I wasn't even around for this, but I looked at it afterwards and said, oh, that made total sense. Here's another one that made sense. Goes up over the orb high, comes back, goes under, and finds this nice support at the ORB high, and that would have been a good entry as well. When it recovered right there, you could have got some. Okay, so that is the Qs. Let me pull up the SPY here. Okay, on to the SPY. So the SPY was a really large 6 cents, so $6. I got in at 237, got out at 246. So 237. Right, it was up here. Okay, so obviously the day had gone by, you know, SPY, just like the Qs, popped up, sold off, consolidated. Except the SPY was consolidating around the orb low, right? It eventually bounced off there and came up to the orb high. I think, what did I say? I got 237. So I got in. Oh yeah, I got in. So basically, what happened is, I saw right when it hit. I was watching. I saw this nice 5 minute rejection. And I was thinking about getting in right here, and I just didn't pull the trigger. And I was even watching it push up all the way right here. And I had my finger on the button. I was going, this is, because I've seen it so many times when you get a candle and then it pushes up and it looks scary. And that's like the perfect entry. You know, you nearly top tick the thing while it's pushing back up, and then it goes, and it basically goes the other way. And I think I even set a limit order, and it just didn't hit it, and then I just ended up not getting in it. So that was really annoying because it had this great flush. I would have had a perfect entry, and had this great flush all the way down to this level here. So that was annoying, right? And so then I said, okay, I'm just gonna wait to see how the 10-minute closes. This is a really nice 10-minute rejection here. I was still suspicious. I was still suspicious, even though it was a nice rejection. I was just suspicious that it would literally do this. And I really didn't feel like dealing with that because we're so close to end of day here. You just don't know how that's gonna work out. And then also with these options contracts, you know, they devalue pretty badly at the end of the day. It's really pretty sketchy to be doing especially the zero DTE options, which I typically am in. So anyhow, I got in on this push up in here. So I think I was looking at this and going, let me get in on this push up. I think I might have got in on this candle, I believe. Yeah. So while this guy was pushing up, and then it kind of, you know, relaxed. I was like, okay, here we go. You know, but then I had to deal with this crap. So it popped. Then I saw this and I'm like, okay, that's looking good. That's kind of like a top here, a little double top. And then it did this to me and I'm like, dang it, man. But I just decided, like, I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna give it some more room, and if it comes up here and closes aggressively up here, I might get out. Depends. Especially, I was really thinking about over the ORB high. I just really didn't feel like taking the risk at all because I'd already had a profitable trade. Even though it was small, I'd already had a profitable trade and was kind of telling myself you probably just shouldn't trade. But anyhow, I decided to get in this one because the opportunity looked good. We're testing the ORB high, but I was just suspicious of it. So I ended up actually getting out on this push down, and I could have gotten a little more, I think, but my entry was just not very good, right? My entry was like somewhere in here. So yeah, so I got out when I had the chance to grab, you know, a few bucks to make the day a little bit better. And I really don't regret it because I would have had to deal with this crap here, this push all the way back up. And by the time all this happened and this came back down, the contracts were not worth as much. So because they're expiring today. So I'm happy that I got out for the little baby scalp. And I really, if I just would have entered right away, like I was looking at that there, it would have been a lot better. And I could have just got in and out for like, it was really good. It was like 20 or 30 cents, surprisingly good. But anyhow, that was that second trade on SPY. Hey, and while we're here, I just want to go over some of these excellent opportunities. I just did not pull the trigger. It's the same deal, and I really, it's one of these things where I'm like, it's one of these days I'm gonna get the balls. But you know, again, same thing with SPY. I saw this, and I was watching this, and I saw this push up into the orb high, this beautiful 5 minute, and I told myself like that, take this trade, and I just did not do it. And you had this awesome dump, and then I watched it come down here and thought, hey dude, this is how it works. It's basing at this area that I'm well aware of, and look, it based here, like take it up, and I just didn't get in it. And this took a while, but I was like, you know, after it's all done, you're like, wow, it worked, like of course you said. And then we come down again, all the way down, and hit that second fib, and boom, put this in candle. I saw this and didn't have the balls to take it. I don't know why. I just didn't take it, and could have got that scalp up to there, man. Same thing here, this thing coming up and then doing that base on the orb low. Saw that, didn't take it. So I am apparently just allergic to taking longs. I will get over this one day. I'm sure by the time I get over it, this market's gonna start coming down again, right? It's gonna be like the worst time to maybe do that. But we'll see. It'll happen even in a downtrending market. You're gonna have these pop-ups, and things will just sell off easier, I guess. But anyhow, that wraps up my day today on Tuesday. Again, I'm just really happy that I'm got another green day on the books. The trading was pretty sketchy, and I didn't take all the good trades, so that's a bit annoying, and something I for sure got to work on. but we're heading in a good direction, and I'm ultimately being patient, and I think making reasonable decisions of when I think it's reasonable to get out of these trades if I really don't feel comfortable with the play, for whatever reason. I'm getting good intuition there, so I'm happy with the progress, and I think scaling down is and doing a small account is really helping. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Leave me a comment if you got any input or got any questions or got any trades you want to share. I'd be happy to hear. So I like talking about this stuff. It's fun and exciting. So yeah. All right, folks. I will talk to you soon. Take care.